Growing up, I always feel like confidence is an elusive concept. You're either born with confidence or you don't. So suffice to say, I was never truly confident when I was a kid. And it wasn't until the past 7 years and all this self-discovery process that I began to learn what confidence is really about. And I find that confidence is something that you can cultivate, especially going through the dark times in your life. And today, we're going to listen to a conversation between Jackie and I. Jackie is an executive coach, and we were connected on LinkedIn for a while now. We were both graduated from ICA. We got our coaching certificate. So we're in the same community, but I never spoken to her, but I've always known about her through her LinkedIn post. And every time she posts something on LinkedIn, I always kind of feel this confidence exuding from her. And it's very magnetic. And I just couldn't help but got very curious about just how she gained that confidence. It's almost like she is just doing things her way and completely embracing her uniqueness. And today, that conversation is really about discovering how does she do that and how do we use the same tools that she has learned over the years and the same tools that she had helped hundreds of her clients to cultivate that confidence. Really hope you guys like the conversation. Let's jump in. Welcome to the Soft Power Project, a podcast that journals the story of women as they navigate their own transformations. I'm Sherry, a certified coach and your host. In my mid-30s, I made the bold decision to reinvent my life. Now in my 40s, I'm sharing that journey along with the stories of women who inspire me. Like you, we're embracing growth to become our highest selves. Let's celebrate the power of self-exploration, one story at a time. Hello everyone, welcome to Soft Power Project. And today we have a very exciting guest, Jackie. Now, Jackie, I would have to say, she is the epitome of resilience and confidence. And when I first talked to her, that sheer confidence oozing out of her, and that was very magnetic, and I loved her energy. And today we will really dive into her different life pivots, her journey to becoming an executive coach for leaders of all industries, and her story of becoming, an incredible cancer survivor, and just her zest in life. And how did she get that? What's her secret recipe? So welcome, Jackie.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sherry, for inviting me, having me here. I'm so thrilled and excited to share my personal story with every audience with Sherry.
What do you think about that introduction when I talk about confidence and resilience? Are those the words that you would typically kind of describe yourself?
Yeah, I love how you describe me. It's always interesting to hear how people see you in their eyes. I really love the word confidence and the resilience, and I see they are like two sides of one coin, right? So when you can stay resilient, especially you can go through the dark times and you can turn around the dark times, this naturally can generate more inner confidence in you. And when you are confident, you will stay more resilient, dealing with whatever uncertainty and unknown in the future. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And today I really want to dive into how does that confidence and resilience comes from? And you mentioned to me, we had a bit of a chat before about your life story and how you become an executive coach, because that's not really a career that you had before. So can you just walk us through a little bit of that journey?
So maybe I start from introducing where I am now. Okay. So now I'm doing several things. So the first, I'm not the founder of JPC Coaching and Consulting. So I see myself as a business leader and entrepreneur, and extremely focused on my business and my company on executive coaching and leadership mentoring. So I see coaching is definitely my identity. And I start to do more speaking and the writing because it is really also my mission to make more impact and influence to the people around me and to the world. So this is where I am, but it took me 15 years to get there. Yeah. So the story really starts from a very shiny external success, but inside I'm not happy. Okay. So at that time, I was working in the corporate world in FMCG industry. So externally, I was a very young and successful marketing director. I'm managing a big team, about 15 direct reports, but 2,000 people foot in the ground. I'm running a big, size of price market share P&Ls. Okay. So I'm running very busy every day, chasing the numbers. But I always know I was not happy. I was kind of lost, like what I really want to achieve. Because in the consumer goods industry, I always see like millions or billions dollars, and I didn't see my personal impact, like how I can link my personal contribution to the big numbers. Right? I'm kind of lost, and I can't find any meaning from what I do, like the personal connection. What really excited me at that time, I noticed, is how I can work with people. So I really enjoyed every conversation I run into, every meeting I run into. I enjoyed every conversation. I support my team members to grow. I support my agencies and vendors to do creative solutions, finding possibilities, right? And this is also the starting point. I got to know coaching as a career. And I was immediately, attracted to that. I see, wow, this is what I like to do. This is not only the career I would like to develop, but this is kind of lifestyle I want to create because I see the coaching work is you every day is different. And even every single conversation, even with the same person, it's a different co-creating process, right? So it's like make every day count. Well, I think it's a fascinating job, and it can gives you so much flexibility in terms of when you want to work, where you can work, who you want to work with. So it gives a lot of flexibility and freedom. But over the next 5 years, nothing changed significantly. Yes, I was struggles with work-life balance, with a lot of targets. My career was going very good and very smooth. But down to the earth, I started to learn coaching, practicing coaching, but I didn't have the courage to transit my career, right? So I see the 5 years I battled with a lot of self-doubts, like can I really develop coaching as my passion into a thriving career? Can I really can make a living as a coach? And can I really transit from an executive to an executive coach? Is this senior executive will choose me, still a young executive, to be their mentor and coach? So I have all these different, voices. It's a self-sabotaging, self-doubts. And I hear a lot of voice around me. So people around me also share the same doubts, right? Like you can keep coaching as your hobby. You can keep it sideline, but you have a great job. You don't want to throw them away. These voices, I think it's really also part of them I agreed. So that's why it's planted some of the fear into that. So I was being like struggling for 5 years until I made my turning point, but not voluntarily. So it's 10 years ago, I was diagnosed, I have a breast cancer. It is really a hard, immediately full stop of my successful corporate career. So I went to the hospital. I went through all this, surgery, a lot of physical pains. But this is also the moment I got my aha moment. It's like I really got a calling from a higher power. I still remember the magical moments. The magical moments happened on the second day when I finished my operation, my surgery. And at that time, I was still going through a lot of physical pains. I feel I was very weak. And this is the first time I got up from the bed and start to move my body, walking around to recover. And when I was standing in front of the window and I look outside, I look at the crowd, blue skies, and there was a question popped out in my mind. Yeah, it's what do you really want to do in the rest of your life if you can survive? And the sound is so clear and loud and obvious, like it's coaching. So coaching is always in my heart. It's always close to my heart. So I want to do coaching. I want to pick up coaching. I want to all in coaching. This was the moment I realized like this is my life purpose. This is my dream. This is how I can really connect with my true self is through the coaching and develop coaching as my career. But the transition journey, in the practical world, was not easy at all. So after 1 year recovery, I went back to the business world. I was always aware coaching was already there. But I'm also thinking how I can make a very practical switch. So not like some other people, they will say I would sacrifice some income, some external success for my dream. And when I'm listening to my authentic voice, I think, yeah, I accept I'm an ambitious person and I want both. Okay. I want this internal meaning, internal realization, and I want the external success. And I see they are not separate. They are actually, it's like one part, right? If you really want to make the impact to the world, you want to be recognized by the external world. But this is through how you can radiate in your true self, your own calling. So it took me another few years. So I went back to the corporate world, but I've been very conscious, like whatever I do as my responsibility in the company, it was always about coaching. So when I'm working with people, I'm using coaching methodology. When I was stressful and dealing with challenges, I did self-coaching. I put coaching like everywhere. So I see it's like the true love. If your true love is the coaching, no matter what format it is being, never need to worry or fearful it will go away anymore. So I really prepare myself for the full transition for 3 years. Then I make the transition. And at that time, I think I'm all very ready. I already got enough practice to transit my career to an executive coach. I got the business model. I got the clients I'm serving. So when I'm ready, I make this transition. Yeah. But still during the transition journey, it's a linear, direct pathway. I see it's always about ups and downs. It's all about you take action first and you take the learning and you fail, you take more learnings and then you become better and better. And then you're finding how you can really, manifest your calling in a very practical way, but it's also being perceived as great value by your clients, by the other people, by the world. So this is a brief summary, a snapshot of the past 15 years, how I went through all this journey and be here.
I love that. And I wanted to start by when you mentioned that kind of the moment that you fully embraced what that means to you about coaching. Because I think you said that a lot of people would be like, oh, why don't you just do that on the side? You had a great career. You can have, coaching just kind of on the side. I think a lot of people do that and they're all comfortable with that. But for you, how you define that, you're all in, right? It's all about it. And you want both the external and the internal part of it. And I think that is so important for everyone to truly be honest with themselves and embracing whatever the definition that you can come up with, how you define your successful life. Something that I'm getting from your answer is that it is actually quite difficult to a lot of people to kind of fully and be honest to look at what they truly want.
Yeah, exactly. My mentor And
Mhm.
also, it's the starting point of my coaching journey is from day one. Is because I heard this mantra is everyone is unique.
Mhm.
Okay, it's really healed 99% of my anxiety at that time, and it gave me so much power because we are in the system, we're in the society, we learn how to compare. It's like automatic system is we always compare
Mm.
ourselves to other people and it creating all this competition, all this anxiety. So everyone is unique, like everything is unique. Your dream could be unique, your vision could be unique. Some people's vision is a very big, some people's vision is very small, but all of them, they are beautiful. And your strength is unique. Your calling is unique, what you want. And as you said, Sherry very well said, like your definition of success is unique. So that sentence can help us stop from comparing, but really connect with yourself, listen to yourself, find your authentic voice. And rather than finding what is the right answer for me externally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that when you mention how the process wasn't linear. And I wanted to dive in a little bit about that because, again, looking at you, Jackie, like hearing your story, it just sounds so amazing that people can take a snippet of this is where you start and this is where you end up and neglecting kind of the journey itself. We're in the middle, right? There are some ups and there are some downs. Like, how do you deal with the negative thoughts, the intrusive thoughts that comes into you? Because I'm guessing time to time you do kind of have to deal with that. How do you use coaching to coach yourself out of that?
I think the starting point before I embark the journey really to finding my new land, I need to develop a new map, like a new mental map to find a new land. So I see several life-changing mindset change really helped at the very beginning. One of the changes I think we just mentioned is I'm unique. So, which
Hmm.
means when I'm embarking on this coaching journey, when I help these already very successful people, it doesn't mean I want to compete with them because I'm smarter, I'm better than them, then I can coach. It's because I am unique, which means I always have some unique value to contribute. So when you stop compete, you are going to create something amazing really from yourself, right? So this is the mindset change. And another mindset change Sherry just mentioned. So when you achieve your big dream, the
Hmm.
journey is always non-linear. If there's a linear journey, which means it's in your conscious model, right? So if it's linear, you see how you can from A to B in a very straight line, which
Hmm.
means it's already in your conscious model. It's already within the scope. What you know,
Hmm.
right? But when you embark, it's like my big dream. It's my big aspiration, right? For example, my aspiration is I want to become the world top executive coach. And when it's big enough, usually you don't see the way getting there. You didn't see the way getting there, right?
Hmm.
So it must be non-linear. So one learning I like to share with everyone is if you really, dream big and you want to aim high, the road path is supposed to be non-linear, unexpected,
Hmm.
right? So this is the right way to go. So when the mindset is right, then the next step, as you said, you need to dealing with a lot of limiting beliefs and negative challenges because this is our human nature. We don't like uncertainty. We don't like changes, don't like insecurity because when we see there's ongoing changes we can't expect, which means risk. Right. And it's over, tens of thousands of years when we see it's unknown, it's risk. We want to run away or we want to hide rather than
Mm.
face it and conquer it. So that's why unconsciously we all love the stability, certainties. We want to repeat what we do because it brings us just discomfort, this familiarity.
Mhm.
And but this is not the way getting there.
Mhm.
Right. So then consciously, I know I need to deal with a lot of fear. I need to deal with a lot of anxiety just because the unknown. So you are really tap into the space. You you know you don't know, or even you don't know you don't know. But on the other hand, I see this is the way to unlock higher potential because it's also part of our human nature. We only unleash 5 or 10% of the consciousness. So, which means 90% or 95% of our day-to-day life is autopilot. We are really functioning in an unconscious or subconscious model. But if we can accept that this 90% that we don't know what will happen on our journey, and when we accept that this 90% is uncertain, it is something would happen in a way we don't expect. We don't know, we don't know. And we are kind of unlock more energy. We unlock more possibilities. So the mindset change is really life is not happening only by me. Like I have to have control. I have to stay tight. I have to work harder to get there. But you can stay more relaxed and you stay loose. That is, you plant the faith and the deep trust in yourself. Like if something is meant to happen for you, it will happen in a way, maybe in a very unexpected way. Then you start to stay loose and stay relaxed. That is how we call it in the moment, in the present. While you have your plan, you have your work, you have your practice to do, at the same time, you're very open-minded, you're very curious, you're very ready to accept whatever is coming to you. So that's I see, Sherry, a few of my big clients, a few of my these life-changing moments in my coaching career. Like I get the big deal from the first Fortune 500 company. I got my highest ticket from individual clients. They always came to me in an unexpected way. Okay. So you see a lot of things is going on, happening with us. There's a lot of things going on. It's throwing us. So there's always some of the higher power that is happening for us. So when bearing this mindset, and I will feel more comfortable when I deal with fear, and I feel so comfortable I can making friends with my fear. I can making friends with my fear and emotions. And when you are always living a conscious model, for example, for me, every day I can notice my emotions is like ups and downs. It's every day, even every morning. Yeah, every morning, your emotion, your energy was ups and downs. Okay, so you just observe them, you make friends with them, you accept them fully, and then really then you can focus on what is the missions, what are the undertakings you need to move forward. So this is a little bit about self-coaching, starting from the mindset, but with also how you can plant a deep faith, deep trust in yourself and in the high power about everything that's supposed to happen for you will happen sooner or later. And then you can be really focused in the present about the work you are doing.
I love how you mentioned the fear and how to just coexist and actually sort of be friends with them. I like how
Yeah.
you mentioned kind of the lightness of that because, fear, I think to most people, it's again, it's fear, right? It's
Yeah.
negative. But
Yeah.
the fact that you're able to say that, be friend with your fear and be there for the fear, like how do you do that? Can you walk us through just in a small example? How do you actually accomplish that to befriend with the fear?
Yes. What I use for myself is visualization. Okay, visualization. I see first fear is emotion like joy, like happiness. And they are all our old friends. So fear is, I visualize, he is the little guy, but he's been always with me for all the past journey. So he's an old friend. So when the fear arises, I will picture myself. So I put a chair next to me, just next to my desk. And I invite my old little friend, like, okay, I got you. You came here again. Okay, welcome. And fear, please have a seat next to me. I don't try to get him away. Okay, like get rid of him. I don't want you. Get rid of you. Can you just leave? No, he will never do that. So I will accept, okay, you are here. So fear, can you sit next to me when I'm working on something, when I'm really, just doing my day to day? You can have a seat here. So that is the visual picture exactly to describe how I can really make friends with my fear. And then over the time, the fear will take care of itself. But one thing I can guarantee or assure you is he will leave sooner or later. He will leave sooner or later, right? When he get bored or he has nothing to do. Extremely when he feel he can't interfere you, he can't control you, he will just fade away. Okay. So this is when we are linked to coaching skills. So this is really the skill about fear. It is a practice. So it's a practice to pause, to accept fear is here, and we accept it and just to observe it. And it will transform itself. You don't even need to transform your fear. It's not necessary, but if you can, it will be great to transform your fear to some positive energy, because there's always some hidden unmet desire and the fear, right? Because fear I will fail, because the desire is I want to be successful. Yeah, but you don't need to do that necessarily. The thing is, the common misunderstanding we may have is I want to suppress the negative feeling. I want to suppress fear. Right. I want to close the door so fear will not get in, but he will get in anyway. And when you want to control or suppress your fear, this is how your fear control you.
Yeah.
So that's, I said, make friends with your negative feelings. They are all valid feelings.
I love that. Actually, I don't know if this is a coincidence, but I just had a podcast episode that came out and I talked about how, because I really loved a poem by Rumi, The Guest House, where it like inviting all the emotions and into their house as a guest. Like what you said, it's like actually open arms, inviting them in. And that energy itself, it kind of just create this like, it's contradictory to what a fear wants. It wants want you to fear the fear. So when you just invite it and let it sit there, it kind of dissolve that energy.
Yeah, exactly. And I like to share like fear is really a powerful energy. We can always unleash more potential in us. I experienced the highest level of fear when I was diagnosed cancer. And for the first 3 years, I know it's a critical period for my survival and really, how I can live further with full health. So I was experiencing a lot of fear on a day-to-day basis. So whenever I remember at that time I visited a hospital, it's like I went to get a sentence. So sentence is, to live or not to, something like that.
Yeah.
So, and this is really the moment you don't run away from your fear. You don't suppress your fear and you do your practice, right? You do your practice I just shared. You pause, you notice fears here, you pause, and you really accept, and you do whatever you are doing with your fear and make peace with your fear. This is how we can, over the time, build this strong mental muscle. It's like you go to your gym, go to your mental gym, you build your strong mental muscle. So now I'm so familiar with fear. Like when fear's here, I'm so familiar, like because he's always come to my house. I just say, welcome. I'm so familiar with that. And I'm even so familiar so that sometimes I choose fear. Okay, I choose to do something bold. I choose to do something I'm scared of, or even I feel embarrassed. It could be embarrassing for me because I don't care, because I make good friends with fear now. It will not control me anymore. So that is the exercise, the practice, and how we can build the mental muscle over the time. And it's really a game changing. for our happiness and joy in life.
That's amazing. I mean, I cannot imagine that process, especially when you said going to the hospital, it's a life sentence, right? Now, this question that I've always had, and we mentioned the word confidence, and you just exude confidence. Do you think you had confidence so that you can go through life, this amazing journey that you had gone through? Or has your confidence built up over time?
I used to think I'm always confident until I find I'm not. Okay, until I'm being more aware and conscious, I always have this, criticism, or like I'm not good enough. I should prove myself. This kind of voice coming up until now. Like now, I can even like capture that kind of voices in my mind. Am I good enough? Am I qualified enough? Or this, am I ready enough for these big goals, etc. Okay. So what is really confidence about? I think it's not about a label to a person, like this person is confident, this person is not confident. It's a status. It's a status of where we are. So how we are consciously, like in some of the status, we are very confident about ourselves, and others we are not that confident at all.
Mm,
And I see it's a very situational based. Yeah, it's like the leadership, right? When we are developing leadership, this person is so skillful, but there's a new situation, this person is not skillful anymore. So this I see when we see confidence, it's a consciousness, it's a self-awareness exercise about when are you confident, when are you not. Yeah. And and I hear, Sherry, you're trying to ask me what are the key elements and
mhm,
components which can compose the
mhm,
confidence, right? So we know how we can practice that. I see it's both the inside and the external side. So the inside part, I think it's all about self-awareness.
mhm,
So it's a practice aware who you are. As we just mentioned, everyone is unique. So you're being aware, you're creating more awareness about who you are, and you really know yourself over the time. And you know your strengths, your talents, your unique gifts. And it also brings you confidence when you know your limitations. Okay, you know your weakness, you know your this vulnerability. So it's really boosts the confidence to establish a very holistic, strong inner core about this is who I
mhm,
am. Yeah, this is the unique shape or combination of who I am. It naturally gives you the awareness, the acceptance, which lead to the confidence. And that confidence is unconditional. The confidence is no matter what achievement I get, no matter
mm,
what success I can get, no matter I get this deal, I lost this deal, I'm confident because this is about who I am. This is in the core. This is also
mm,
about my timing. Is it the right timing for me to do the right thing? So it's a combination. So I think this is through self-awareness and also this affirmation with yourself. It's a natural, it's boosted the confidence just based on who you are. And you being able, so to demonstrate your confidence, you see you're not being able to promote yourself, to voice
mm,
out who I am to the world. You're being able to share your vulnerability, your limitation, and you can the true confidence you can say, actually, I don't know. Actually, I
mm,
have no idea, like to show your vulnerability. So this is the inner side. You see, it's really about the clarity, the crystal
mm,
clarity about your inner side, and you can radiate the whatever the authentic voice about yourself without self doubts. And underneath, I see it's also self love. So self
mm,
love, self acceptance. It's a total package, right? Because you
mm,
choose. So it's a choice. You choose to love yourself unconditionally, no matter what you do, what the result you're achieving, what journey you've been going through. You just choose to love yourself unconditionally, and you believe yourself. So you accept, who you are. I remember, I think one thing I didn't accept myself very well is my shape in the childhood. I always think I was too fat, I was too short. Now I was facing myself. I love my wrinkles. Like I really love my wrinkles. I was okay. That's good. That's I'm growing some wisdom with the wrinkles. So it's an unconditional self love. This is the inner work. This is the inner work.
Yeah.
But to be honest, in the practical real world, I think the external result it's really helpful. It's really challenging if you always fail. You said I'm still confident about next time. So the external part, I think it requires some specific skills. You know how you consciously build the confidence. And that skill I called, so there are several skills, but I think one of the majority that help is called positive reinforcement. Okay, so what does it exactly mean is whenever you choose a goal or you set up a goal for yourself, you don't choose the highest bar because it's just creating, more challenges for yourself, right? You put creating more challenges, obstacles, and you're creating more probability for you to fail. Okay, so when you set up the goal, you set from the bottom line. You not set here, you set a bottom line. What the bottom line means is if I can hit that, I'm happy with myself. So for example, if you want to do the exercise, okay, you don't want to start from a marathon, you start from, let's just do 30 minutes or even 50 minutes. 50 minutes, if I can keep going every day, I'll be very happy with myself. Let's start with 50 minutes. So it's just make your goal attainment process much, much easier. So you consciously set up the bottom line goal to make your success rate much, much higher. Okay. Then when you achieve these small wins, okay, the next thing you will do, you are going to celebrate. You are going to give this positive reinforcement. You are going to creating these rituals to celebrate, to cheer for your wins. And then this positive reinforcement will give you extra energy. And this gives you the energy you can go X miles. So over the 3 months, you will say, okay, I'm doing such a great job. I'm so confident about my running capability. Now I'm going to challenge myself, still not a marathon, but let's do 20 minutes. Okay, so that's the small wins, and you're consciously doing that for yourself. It boosts your confidence. And it's not only about the confidence, this is how you can really become a long-term winner. Because you enjoy the process, you get this positive reinforcement. You see every time you can win and you're confident. And over the 1 year, you can see it's much, much easier. You can move from 15 minutes to 1 hour. That's what happened. There are definitely some skills, but you want to set yourself for success. When you really set up a game or a career goal for yourself, you want to set up yourself play to win, not the highest bar. So this is also, I think, a very common mistake. I see a lot of people, do is I hold a high stand for myself and I push myself. I critic myself. I feel very stressful, which means the method is not sustainable. And I'm losing kind of confidence. This is where you see, Sherry, is we start to criticize ourselves. We have these negative thoughts. We're diluting our confidence. It's because that's not here.
And you mentioned that the importance of the sustainable confidence, right? It's a long game. And yeah, I think what you mentioned was absolutely right, is that a lot of people, and I think especially nowadays, because there's so much uncertainty when we set goals, I think for majority of the people, when we set goals, we don't know what's sustainable or what is a really big goal, what is a small goal. They kind of just like, all right, well, someone else did that. I'm going to set it there. But is it actually sustainable for you? That's something we need to have a way to kind of figure it out and also evaluate, right?
Yeah. Let me share with you another metaphor how you can get there in a most effective way through all the uncertainty. There is a way, and this is the fastest way. Okay. It's like during a weekend evening, you just have a party with your friends and leave the party. And when you drive home, you found your GPS didn't work. You don't have the roadmap. Get there. What you need, only two things. Only two things. One is you know the direction. Okay, you know the direction. I need to go north. I need to go south. I need to go east. You need to know the direction. So if we translate that direction into your career or your big dream, it is your true north. It's your North Star, right? So you need to know your long-term vision, your North Star. It's there. But you don't know how to get there. As we just said, it's a nonlinear process. It's like you drive without GPS in the dark. It's like you are face a lot of foggy weather, how you can, still steering your car. You have no idea, you have no clue. And then you need to know the second thing is you only can see 10 meters ahead of you. Okay, so what you need to do is drive ahead. You know what you can do the best in the next 10 meters, right? And you go straight. And when there is the road cross, you just choose whether I go right or go left. Okay. And what you could do is make the best option at that moment, right? Based on whatever information you have. You make the best option you can make at that moment, right? And then you drive ahead. Okay, so what you need to know is to hold yourself accountable to do the best in the next 10 meters. And then the next 10 meters. Then you can see you drive 100 meters, 1,000 meters. This is the farthest way. You get home. Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And, throughout the conversation, you mentioned like importance of knowing yourself, embracing, accepting yourself, and also the importance of confident, but a sustainable confidence. And obviously being comfortable with the discomfort and uncertainty because you have already accepted yourself and have that confidence. Now, here's a very dumb question, or if someone wants to start their self-discovery and then they don't have a lot of confidence, they're afraid of uncertainty, do they have to start somewhere first, like building the self-love first? Or can they tackle all these different elements all at once?
Yeah. By the way, there's a no questions, dumb question. I love all the questions. Yeah, I will share some of the practical tips. Okay. So overall, in brief, the answer is they need to take care of their energy first. Okay. So there are several things for them to consider. The first of all is physical energy. Okay. So don't think about you need to achieve something big or you need to move ahead. So first of all, to safeguard your physical energy. So physical energy is three things. You eat well, you eat healthy, right? The second is you do exercise, you move your body. And the third is you make sure you have good rest and good sleep. So if you can do these three things every day in a very good condition, I can guarantee your energy will pick up quickly. And when you have more energy, the energy will lead you to, I could do something else. Maybe I should do something else. I can have a conversation with this person. I can kick off a project. I can do something else. Okay. So this is the first step. So first, examine yourself, assess yourself, these three things: eating, sleeping, and exercise. Am I doing a great job on a daily basis? Okay, so this is the first thing. The second thing is about this emotional energy or this mental energy is you are going to reflect on yourself. What is the thing that can give you positive energy? Then you choose to do it and do it more often. For example, for some people, I really love to hang out with my friends. They make me laugh, right? I really enjoy reading books, watching movies, traveling. I believe everyone can find at least one thing. When you do this thing, it's not energy draining. For a lot of people, they go to work, they feel it's energy draining to go to work, right? Then do something which can, it's not consume your energy, it give you energy back. So start doing this thing and do them more. Okay, so this is the second step. Identify one or two things you really enjoy doing. You can do it more often and start doing that. So this is the starting point. Because to the end of the day, you need to pick up your energy and then you not use them up. Most people, when you say they can't pick up themselves, they are really in a very negative feeling or status. I think basically it means your energy has been consumed up. Your energy is not there, right? So when you get these two things, your physical energy or your positive emotional energy right, everything else will follow naturally.
I love that. I think it's a simplistic way to look at how to even get started. Because I think a lot of people nowadays are in that space where they just feel so stuck and they are afraid to kind of even move forward or
Yeah.
they're stuck in that energy, right?
Yeah, I hear for you. I've been talking with a lot of clients and I hear a lot of struggle is they're looking for something big. Like I'm get stuck with my current job, but I want to get this stability. I get the pay monthly. So how can I make a big leap to transit my career to something else, to find an ideal job, to start my business? It's a big leap, right? And then maybe think about, I want to really pursue my dream, how I can start from scratch and to learn a lot of stuff. I need to work extra hours, like all this big leap. But this is how I see you need to have more energy, which means energy is your potential. So when we talk about potential, it's your hidden energy, right? This is my definition of potential. It's your hidden energy. You need to unleash your hidden energy by going back to the fundamental, the simplicity. And then when you get this energy up, everything will follow. You don't push yourself to something big. And then you are going to criticize yourself. I'm not still doing the thing I'm supposed to do 3 years ago. Right. So it's the round loop. Okay. So getting your energy first, everything will follow.
I love that. And just so the audience know, actually, I'm about to embark on a 5-day coaching with Jackie starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. Like, would you like to talk a little bit about why 5-day and is it consecutively and why you want to plan it that way and anything you would like to share with us about that?
Yeah. So the 5-day challenge is a signature program. So in the past 10 years, I've been working more than 200 executives, founders, and these entrepreneurs, leaders, right? So after all these cases, I summarized my signature system called the LEAP. Okay. So this system, when I use that to coach a lot of senior leaders, they really love that. They say it's game changing and they say this is the right way and this is the fastest way. And the uniqueness of this LEAP system, it's really responding how we can stay ahead and lead forward with this ever accelerating development of the society. So nowadays, the new challenge is we are all going through the changes with high velocity and non-stop, right? So how we can stay ahead? So that's why I developed this LEAP system. There are 4 simple steps. So LEAP is locking your vision first. So you have your North Star. The second is elevating your inner operating system. So you're not only changing specific limitations, you're elevating your own inner operating system, like your whole iOS. And the third is you really act with laser focus. So even you have the same energy with laser focus, you give 10 times energy to one single task. And the last one is you power up some necessary skills. And you want to find and power up your super skill. You want to leverage and over-index your strong skill rather than only fixing your weakness. So they are powerful steps. I really wish when I went through the whole journey in the past 15 years, some people could have guided me with the sleep system. So that's why I want to give this system more, to use this system to help more people, to transform. And also in 2025, I see it's a huge year for a lot of people. I see there will be massive changes, massive ups and downs, which means it's a massive opportunity for everyone. The massive means it could be non-linear opportunity. It could be very disruptive innovation. It could be like our growth is not continuous improvement anymore. Our growth could be exponential as well. Okay. So that's, I feel, and it's really to my heart. It's my heart project. Is I want to give the free 5-day challenge. It's a 5-day whole one-on-one coaching with me for free to the right people. Okay. So I want to offer this to these ambitious executives, leaders, and entrepreneurs. They really see the full potential in themselves and they want to transform their dream into the reality. Yeah. So this is why I initiate these campaigns.
Yeah. And this is actually how we get to start talking, getting
Yes.
to know each
Yeah.
other. And yeah, I mean, I really admire how kind of like how it brings us together. And to kind of wrap up our beautiful interview today is that because I named my podcast the Soft Power Project. Now, one thing I loved about it is that everyone kind of has a different definition of what a soft power is. So I have that question for you. How do you define that? And where do you see that in your life?
I really love this soft energy part, right? Because in a lot of people's presumption, energy is something strong, right? It's something strong. It's something very powerful. It's more like this masculine power. This is, I think, the business world. Most of people, most of leaders, entrepreneurs, they are using this very powerful, strong approach. It's like the stone approach, very hard. This is the power, like I want things happening by me. I want to have full control. If I'm losing control, I want to hold tighter. But I see the whole world, the nature of the world, or the essence of the world, essence of every life. It's yin and yang. It's about strong and soft. So it's also two sides of the coin. So I really appreciate, Sherry, how you can highlight the soft part of the energy. It's really, I see it's a feminine energy, but it's not unique to females. It's the soft energy. It's like water, right? It's just be water. So I see in the business world, especially I'm working with, a lot of leaders in a business context. I see the soft energy is about being very flexible, being very adaptive to whatever new situation arise. So when something doesn't work, I'm being able to pause and reflect. And I can recognize, like, I can use a lot of formulas. It's not necessarily be that way. If that way doesn't work, I can always change my approach. So it's really about the adaptive and also this flexibility. And with that flexibility and this soft power, I see it can generate creativity. So creativity is when we really relax and we're being able to connect some unusual thoughts. Yeah, so the soft energy can really generate creativities, a lot of imaginations, which is beyond our current reality. Yeah, and I see it's when the soft energy meets the powerful energy, the strong energy, it's the wisdom. So this, I see the wisdom is always you can comprise two very different energy and power together. So that's, I see your soft energy project is really make the wholeness of the whole world and the whole energy, wholeness of the energy, everyone can embrace.
Oh my goodness. That's absolutely lovely. And I do hope that the energy of this podcast itself can translate to everyone and resonate with people, whoever needs it. And I just have to say thank you so, so much, Jackie, for joining me in this interview today. It's My pleasure. And yeah, I'll have all the information about Jackie in the show notes below. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your interview. Thank you for you to let me sharing my story. I think this is really the right timing. I see it's my celebration of my 10 years anniversary as the cancer survivor. And
Wow.
this is really the moment I voice out to the world. I didn't share my vulnerable story to the world until I'm ready. Now I feel I'm so
Yeah.
ready to share my dark time and story. And thank you for being the inviter, Sherry, for this moment for me.
Oh wow, that's absolutely amazing, and congratulations. That's has been an amazing journey for you, and then also the fact that we can take part of that and taking your wisdom from your journey, and we can also resonate that and learn that and apply that to ourselves. And yeah, again, the energy come as like yin and yang, and kind of it flows, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
The Soft Power Project is produced and hosted by Sherry Fang. For any inquiry, please email us at softpower.u@gmail.com.